And I don't think I streamed this year. I'm not sure. Did I? I'm not really sure. Hey, but I'm streaming earlier. That's a good thing. That's a real good thing. Because more people can come. Hopefully. But people are probably home from school by now. Obviously. And we got 2 people. Yay. Great. I know I don't sound enthusiastic, but that's just how I sound. I don't think I did a stream before New Year's or after New Year's. I can't remember. Honestly. My memory is horrible. Yeah, and I can't remember the reason why I'm streaming now. I think just because I want to. And because I have nothing better to do. Well, actually I do. There's homework that I could be doing, but I do it, at school. I could be working on videos right now that I could finish today. I could be doing that. Or I could be studying for my driver's test. 3 other things I could be doing. Right. Sorry, I was talking to my sister. Yeah, she's still awake. And if you hear screaming in the background, it's probably my brother and sister chasing each other. So sorry for that. That's normal. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be in here. Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is just a stream where I talk or ask questions or just ramble about my life. Knowing me, I like to talk about things. What? Okay. Again. What?
I'll show you later.
Okay. Okay. Oh, why do I have siblings? Oh, right. That's because of my dad. Oh, yeah. Funny enough, another thing that I'm really mad about right now, my dad, another kid. And, if you don't know, I already have 6 siblings. Most of well, some of them aren't biologically. Actually, 3 of them are biologically. So I've got my oldest sister over there. She's not older than me. I have all younger siblings. Oldest. but 14. And then there's twins. They're 11. And then there's my middle brother. He's 10, I believe, now. And then there's my brother, they're both my half brothers. But he's 9. I live with him, technically speaking, half the time. And then there's my youngest sister, youngest sibling. She's 6, 7. I can't remember. It's too much to keep track of. And I was like, Dad, just no. You don't need another kid. You do not. You already have me. You have so and so, my sister. You have your 3 other kids. How many kids do you want? Like, I'm glad my mom stopped at 6, okay? I'm glad she did. And my aunt and uncle, they stopped at 2. My aunt's not even, my aunt's the oldest. She ain't even married. She don't have no kids. I'm like, go her. Do what you want. Like, my dad still thinks I'm gonna go off and get married to some guy from the Navy. Like, I don't know why he thinks that. And I'm gonna have like 3 kids. Like, no, I'm gonna leave here and I'm never gonna come back. Okay, the only exception, actually there's no exception. Because if I come back here, I'm afraid I'm gonna be disowned. Is that right, Catherine? Yeah, I call my sister Catherine. That's her middle name.
What?
That's right. If I come back here, after college and everything, like, I would be disowned? I can't even hear her, so that's fine. She would say yes anyways.
Probably.
What?
Probably yes. Why?
I'm just talking. Yeah, she said probably yes. See, told ya. She knows. We're both gonna be disowned. I swear that's gonna happen. Like, I'm not even gonna come back here from college. Like, I'm gonna go move with my mom, or I'm gonna move with my aunt and uncle in Arizona. Either one, you know. They're both supportive and nice. It's good. The only problem is my dad and uncle had the best conversation at dinner. So I was just sitting on the table, and I was sitting in the living room or something, and me and my cousins were sitting there too, and my aunt and my brother, and I don't know if my sister was sitting with me, but I think that, and I was just, drawing stuff. I draw sometimes, but like I was drawing on my phone and stuff, and I didn't hear what he said, but my cousin then told me this. He said, being gay is a sin. And I was like, what? And my cousin was like, didn't you hear what your dad said? And I was like, no. And I'm like, well, that's funny because it actually isn't in the Bible. That was mistranslated. I know that for a fact. And I'm an atheist. And so they go on this and then my uncle was conversating that it's not a sin if you pledge your loyalty to God. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting if I moved in, because I'm an atheist. So what am I gonna do? yeah, they were just having a fun conversation about that. That was really fun to hear. Um, you know, and even like, I was making up my dad's sin list because I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a funny joke to get back at him, kind of, but he doesn't know about it, obviously. Because if he did, he would. I'm just gonna say, have a very harsh remark about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But my cousin was saying, like, oh yeah, me and my dad, were talking about it and stuff, and he said that being gay isn't even a sin. I'm like, it isn't! Either way! What the heck is going on out there? Okay, apparently, my sister was scraping her nails along the door. I thought that was running. Okay. So yeah, back to the conversation. And they were talking about it in the car. I was like, yeah, obviously it was mistranslated, and stuff. And you can't even see my face. That's okay. My face is pretty ugly anyways. So then they were talking about this stuff. And it's like, yeah, and I'm making up a sin list for him. And she's like, oh, well, when you're done with it, show me it. I'm like, sure. And I showed it to my sister, too. She's like, that's pretty funny. And if you guys have seen the 3 parts, there's, like, probably 60 sins on there, at least. Maybe a little more. I don't know. And let's see, well, I've started experimenting, quote unquote, with my coffee maker. And I was really stupid. So, yesterday, I was cleaning it and stuff, and trying to figure out how it worked and stuff with my little handbook. I'm gonna keep that. But I put the stuff in, I did it right, and I made sure that I did it right, and stuff. And then I tasted it. It was horrible. It had been the most bitterest thing I've ever tasted in my life. And then I went online, and I found out that there are 2 types of coffee grounds. There are light roasted and dark roasted. I know, my lips are chocolate. That's because I was eating Wendy's Frosty. Not sponsored. But now I have to go to the store again because I had already buy all the stuff, and I already had to buy more syrups for more recipes. So I have to go to the store again and buy the right stuff. Amy. Great. And then I've got my fridge in here and stuff, and I got stuff in it. I guess, I don't know. I went to the store and bought and bought some Yorks. I just said store and bought at the same time. I'm really stupid. Yeah, I'm surprised there wouldn't be more people because it's like 7 o'clock, and usually I stream at like 10. Though people would probably be doing their homework or having dinner right about now, is what I'm guessing. So the thing is to find the right time to stream. But then again, I wouldn't want to stream while in school. So, anyway, Friday's tomorrow, and I'm happy about it, because then, you know, I'm free, which is great. And yeah, so, my grandma is, I know this is really bad, and you guys would consider this very, very bad. But for me, it's really normal. So, this is just normal for me, by the way. My grandma is in the hospital. Again. And, there are multiple reasons why she would be in there. And it would be any of her, suffering illnesses like diabetes, liver disease. I don't know how much stuff she has, a bunch. But, she just recently got a pump that took out of her, which pumps insulin in her. So, yeah, not good, kinda. I don't know. Because she's always had it for, I think, a couple years now. But, she's been a little cuckoo lately, wobbly. She can't really walk. She couldn't really walk, so, had to hold her up like this, like by her sides. And so, yesterday, she was a little cuckoo. And what I mean by cuckoo is, she tried to go in the basement to go to sleep. So, she thought her bedroom was in the basement. Really cuckoo. She also almost walked into the wall multiple times. Cuckoo. And she almost tried eating one of those clips you put on, chip bags. That stuff. She almost tried to eat one. And she just kept saying, I'm fine. She was not fine. So, she's in the hospital now, and she'll be home tomorrow, hopefully. And she'll be better. And not all wobbly, can't stand, sort of thing. Hopefully she'll be okay. I don't sound that excited. But I am. Sort of. I guess. I don't know. And my dad was a little mad at me because I made jokes out of it. And I know I shouldn't be making jokes out of it because that's how I keep my sanity and my happiness. Comedy. Or just making fun of it, really. Like, my dad was like, oh, well, you need to keep an eye on your grandma. Or keep an eye on grandma, just don't let her go outside or anything. And I'm like, no, Dad. I'm gonna let her walk in front of the road. I'm gonna let her rock out in the road and get hit by a car. Our mom is not gonna do that. Yeah, he was really offended by it. And it's just that I can't really also talk to anyone about this stuff because a lot of people, like, oh well, you know what, I have that too, so, you know, you're not the only one. Not like in a sense you're not alone, just like in like a sarcastic tone. And like I was literally talking about how like I can't, it just blacked out for a second there. My dad has custody of me, so can't really do anything about that. And like I was telling it to someone, and they were like, "Oh yeah, cool," and I'm like, "It's not funny, because it isn't. It's not." And the fact is, which is worse, is that my dad and my mom would say stuff to me back and forth, like, to make me hate either one of them. I swear, one time my mom said the craziest thing to me. She told me that my dad wanted me to flush me down the toilet when I was a baby, and I was like, what the heck? And I was like 6 years old when she told me that. 6, 7 years old. And I was like, what the heck? How would you say that to a 6-year-old? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, she scares me a lot about, she scared me about a lot of things. Like, I swear, like, when I was younger, like, before, like, I even had the whole cycle, the menstrual cycle thing, I swear to gosh, my mom would terrify me. She terrified the heck out of me, and she was, like, telling me about it, and I was like, oh my god, old, 9 years old, 10 years old? Like, that's horrible to tell to a kid! But then again, that kind of prepared me for, like, the harsh reality. Which kind of sucked. It still kind of sucks. Like, I honestly don't know what I was talking about before I started talking about this stuff. I really have a mind of my own. I swear, my mind has a mind of its own. It's weird. And yeah, I was talking about stuff why I can't tell people this stuff. Oh, like, and like, yeah, like, every time, like, I have this one guy, and like, I don't trust guys that often, you know, daddy issues, and also I have trust issues with guys in general, just cause, but like, he protects me from like this guy that kind of picks on me and stuff. I won't get into that whole thing. Like, that's another story to tell. But like, you know, I've known him since like pretty much elementary school. Like, he's only like a year old, 2 years old, 2 years older than me. But you know, he just talking about stuff, and I was just talking about stuff, and I was like, oh well, my grandma's in the hospital again. I was like telling him just this today. Or something about my birthday, like, and I was like, why do we have to announce each other's birthdays? Like, what if someone doesn't want their birthday announced? Like, I don't want my birthday announced. I don't like my birthday. Because something bad always happens. That's just, my birthday's bad luck. Any holiday's bad luck for me, so I don't like celebrating it. The only holiday I like celebrating is Halloween. That's it. And, like, you know, he was just like, you know, he was just like, you know, does it look like anyone would care? And, like, I kind of felt that, because, like, that's all the time people used to tell me stuff like that. They would, like, tell me, like, every time I used to talk to people, like, when I was in 5th, 6th grade, because that's when people, like, you know, started hitting, like, puberty and stuff, like, and I didn't hit it till like a year later. So everyone got like, attitude adjustment, or like, just got a little meaner, or just weren't that nice to me anymore. I'm the baby, obviously, but like a lot meaner to me and stuff. And they would all just say, I don't care. I don't really care. Does it look like I care? Like, I was just like, 9, 10 years old when people used to say stuff like that to me. And like, that really hurt, but like, I didn't get it as much as a kid. But like, when I got older, I guess I got to understand like that. And like, that was like kind of put into my mind that like, no one cared that much about what I said or anything. I don't know. Hey, but we got one person. That's great. I'm used to that. I would usually assume that people would be here around this time. I honestly don't know what time it is. Let me check my watch. It is 7:15. So yeah, I really just can't talk to anyone about this stuff anymore, because like, I don't know what it is. Like, some people just have that like grudge against me or something. Or like, whenever I try to talk to them, they're just extremely rude. Like, my sister, sometimes really rude to me when I try to talk to her or something like that. I do not know what that noise is. Maybe my sister, I don't know. And like, my brother's always rude to me. He's obviously rude to me. He's very physical. And anytime I say something to my aunt, she just tells me not to complain about it or anything. And my grandma wouldn't understand. My grandpa's barely in here, and my dad is barely in here. And of course, I'd never talk to my stepmom. My mom isn't in here, so what choice do I got? I got no choice. Like, I just, I have no one to talk to. So what can I do, really? But people would say, oh, well, maybe you should talk to your therapist about it. You have a therapist, right? And I'm like, yep, I have a therapist. I've had one for 3 years now. But it ain't that simple. It's not that simple when your therapist wants to talk about anything, other things like, oh, how are you going with this? How are you doing with this? How's that going? It's not that simple. And especially since it's like an hour appointment. Or like 30 minutes. Like 40 minutes to an hour appointment. Like, how am I supposed to tell her in that time when I'm talking about it to other stuff? And it's like, she's gonna ask me questions about it, and I don't like being asked questions. Or being judged on it. Stuff. Or anything. And like, other people would say, why don't you talk to your friends or anything? Well, it's just that my friends wouldn't care either. Because my one person kind of friend, actually, she's more of a toxic friend, like, now. Like, since last year, I've realized she's, like, pretty toxic, or, like, the year before. And she kind of doesn't care. But she, just doesn't care what I say, or she just tries to shush me up. So, like, why bother telling her stuff like that when I'm gonna eventually, like, just dump it onto her And then my one other friend I just met this year, is tired half the time, is complaining about work, all the time. Like, I can't relate to that, but, like, she thinks that work is, probably more difficult than what I'm going through. I can't say that. Because I don't have a job. I don't have a job at all. Like, I'm not in the right state to have a job. And then my, like, last friend that I have, she just, kind of graduated, dropped out sort of thing. I can't really talk to her, even though she lives in town. She lives in town, I could drive there if I want. Well, I can't drive there, but someone could drive me there if I wanted to, if they wanted to. And we only hang out every once in a while, or once a month, and stuff. And, like, it's like, and, like, she gives good advice, but at the same time, it's like, why bother when we're only gonna hang out once a month? Like, or once every other month. Like, what you gonna do about it then? Like, she, gives me advice about, like, my bully. She's just like, well, if he just says anything to you, just yell at him and stuff. Like, out loud in public. And I was like, I don't think I'd be able to do that because I have really bad social anxiety, And I don't know, I think it's funny because, like, there's this one guy from my school who does announcements in the afternoons. And, oh my gosh, he's so bad at it. Like, he's a nice guy, but he's kind of bad at it. Like, he talks very slow, and sometimes it just doesn't even, you can't even tell what he's saying. In, like, the morning, it's like the adult, but, like, in the afternoon, it's him because he's a career center student, so, we leave in the morning and stuff. And, like, he's just kind of bad at it. Just bad at it. But, yeah. And I think it's funny because I feel like I could do better than him. Like, when I do presentations, I could do better than that. I don't talk that slow. Or ramble in speech. I can actually talk pretty clear. I don't like people staring at me. That just, I don't like that. So yeah, I think it's pretty funny that I could probably do better than him. And stuff. I don't know what to talk about anymore. I've started a new book in school. It's called Their Eyes Are Watching God, and I was like, if this is gonna be something religious, then I'm out. But they always say don't judge a book by its cover, and it's, so far, it's not about God. And, like, this is, like, written, like, in, like, the deep south. So, like, the language in the book is, like, southern. So, like, they're speaking southern. And I understand it completely because I understand it pretty well because I speak southern sometimes, or western slang sometimes. Maybe it's because I listened to a lot of country when I was growing up. Or that some of us speak a little bit, like, southern, western, sort of, that slang. Sort of slang like that. Like, a lot of people complaining about it. And I'm like, this is easy. Besides for the part from the, like, some of the words that are weird. Like, there's one that's, like, zigaboos. which means like nosy people. That's the only thing, like, stuff I get. The other stuff I get. And I'm starting a project next week that I know of. And science. I did absolutely nothing today, really. I swear, I do nothing at the Career Center because I'm done with everything. They just give us worksheets sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm done. And the only thing I really did was just print out, like, Photoshop stuff. And I probably only had to have 5 instead of 10. Which is great for me. Less work. Less work for me. Though I like going above and beyond as it is. Because I'll get better. And I can get better at it and stuff. You know. Since I'm also taking a graphic design course too. Since I was recommended with it. And it's in the same building as the college I wanted to. My top college choice that I'm going to. So far, it's like the only one that I really, like, kind of am leaning towards to. There's another one, but it's, like, down. Like, 3 hours away. And the one that I want to go to is only 37 minutes away. So really, if I could, I can commute, but, like, it might be better to live there. But, like, I'm taking a year off for obvious reasons, so I can change my name and start transitioning, hopefully. But then again, I'm gonna have to get a good job and start, you know, making money and stuff. Which is gonna be hard. Very hard. Really have nothing else to talk about. Not really. There's nothing really else interesting going on. I don't think so, at least. I can't remember. If I have anything interesting. Well, the one guy who's protecting me from my bully is going on co-op. And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, good for you. You know, I get the possible chance that I could be picked on again. So, great for me. That's great, because he could just come up and be picking on me, or messing with me and stuff. Or giving me faces. And I really do not want to deal with him. I swear, half the time, like, I'm literally I'm looking at my face, obviously, but, like, I swear half the time I'm looking into the camera, like, I look like I just went through a traumatizing event and stuff. Like, it looks like, well, my eyes are almost bloodshot always, because I've always been on screen since I was, like, 10. Or I've, like, had sleeping issues since I was 10. And, yeah, I went to, when I was in the last stream, like, someone was like, you have a Roblox account? It's like, yeah, I do. I do have one. I have one. But, the thing is with it, is that I don't use it very often as I should, or as I used to, because I've had it since I was 10 years old. And I swear, every time I've been getting on Royal High, someone has been flirting with me. Some girl just a girl will come up and just flirt with me, or just like be like, "I like you," and I'm like, I'm gonna walk away. Yeah, I just walk away. Like, I'm just like, do I just tell her that I like guys? Do I tell her I'm gay? Do I? Do I? And then one time, a guy came up to me and I was like, and he was talking to me like, not how you should be talking to people. Like, he was like really flirting with me and stuff. He was flirting, and I was like, and then I ran, and then my friend like online was like, run, Sam, run, and I was like, I'ma go, and yeah, and literally like the guy was like asking me to prom or something, or girl, I don't know which, but like, they were like, oh, you want to go prom with me or my friend? And I was like, I don't. I just left. Yeah, I have screenshots of that. I have screenshots of that because I wanted to send it to my cousin. I am glitching out. So yeah, like, I have screenshots because I wanted to show my cousin it. Because she was like, oh, well, if anything else happens, tell me. And I'm like, sure. So I just screenshotted the chats. And I can play on, like, on my phone, but, like, I prefer, like, my computer. Just because it's easier. I don't know. Because I've always played on it. And stuff. You know. So, yep. I don't know anything else. Like, I don't know about anything else. Like, I don't know if there's anything else. I actually don't know how long I'm gonna be alive for. Maybe until I just get bored. Or like, you know, like if people start coming in or something, like, that's great. Because that really started early. I had my reasons for that. But, like, I get that thing with, like, New Year's resolutions. Let's be honest, no one ever, like, really, like, gets a resolution. No one does. I made kind of okay resolutions, but, like, ones that I probably will get done, but others I won't, because, for reasons. I swear my last resolution was, like, I'm not supposed to say anything bad about myself, but, like, I ruined that. I failed that. For reasons. At the end of the year, I ruined that completely. Well, near end, pretty much. Last 4 months, really. But one of mine is like to finally get medication. Because I've been waiting for a very long time. I've been waiting for a year to get meds. A year, probably. Or over a year, I don't know. I've been waiting a long time for them. And stuff. I don't know about anything else. I wrote them down because my instructor, who was a teacher at my school, coincidence, was like, oh, well, what's your resolutions this year? And she was like, oh, write them down. Stuff like that, you know. So, yep, that's really been my life so far. This week, I guess? Really? I don't know. Well, so far this week. So far. I don't know. But, like, you know, it's like also the point in these live streams where I'm just like, you know what, go ahead, ask questions. You know, it's something for me to talk about. And I'm okay that, you know, there's only like a couple people, like less than 5 here. That's fine with me. You know, I like people who are okay asking questions, just as long as they're not kind of offensive or anything, like, you know, I'm okay with them. Well, I try to answer to the best of my ability, really. And stuff. But I do have a video coming out. There's some videos that I don't think I'm gonna post for reasons. But you'll see in another video, which is gonna be a great reaction. But if you want me to post them, I'll post them. Yeah. Because I've mostly been doing events and stuff. Because I swear this channel is like the only safe space I really have right now. Like, I swear, I'm more comfortable talking to strangers online than family or friends or anything like that. I don't know. And, you know, like, I'm really glad, like, my store at my career center, they sell stuff pretty cheap. Like, most drinks at some stores cost like $2 for like a single. Like, we sell them for $1.75 and for pop, and like some other stuff is like $2 or something like that, $4 or something. We sell them at reasonable prices. I don't think over $3 though, which is really cheap. I think like we sell lollipops that are only like 50 cents or something, or 25 cents, and like some of the candies, like actually most of the candies $1, and our pies are $1. And chips are like $2. Like, it depends on the chips you buy, really. Like, cause like the small ones are $2 for $1. Kind of depends, I think. I don't know. I wasn't there. I haven't been in the thing for long. And it's like, when I came back from like early childhood, like they were talking like, and like the one guy, we're gonna call him K. Okay, we're gonna call him K. And like, and the other guy, we're gonna call him Z. Okay, so K was talking to me, and he was like, "Oh well, Z kept talking about you." And by the way, Z goes to my school. He's the second person in the entrepreneurship classroom, and he also rides my bus. Coincidentally, lives down the road. He was the one guy I was talking about the last stream, and like he was like, "Oh yeah, Z was talking about you and stuff," and like, I bet he has a crush on you or something. I was like, what? No, he does not. Listen, I kind of doubt that because some people are just talking about me. They're just talking about me. And the thing is, I'm generally really liked there. Because not a lot of people notice me in my class entirely. Even though we have only like 35 people, 36 people now. And ours, class is a really small class considering other schools have like 70. Well, my cousin's class has like 1,000 people in it. That's because she goes to a really big school. My school, small. Altogether from K to 12 plus Head Start is 400 people at least around 400 people, which is not a lot. We're the smallest school around here, so yeah. And I was like, no, I don't think so about that. I don't think so. Some people just talk about me. A lot of people like me in there. I don't know. They'll just talk to me about stuff or just ask me stuff. I don't know. Plus, I think the only reason I was really comfortable in there is because my instructor was a teacher at my school and got hired there. And she pushed me a lot to like talk to other people because she knows I have trouble socializing, but I really don't like being pushed. Not unless I want to. And like, it's kind of been helpful for me a little bit, I think. I think it's kind of been helpful for me. Because she put me right next to the door, so I have to go up, open the door, and close it every time someone comes to the door. And I do it like, on average about 7 times a day. Yesterday I did like 20. That's just because there were a lot of people. And I generally think like our classroom has become a hangout room because all the guys from like my school, some of the guys from my school, like, they just come in and they're like, "Oh, what's up, Z? We're gonna hang out with you, and we're also gonna get something from the store." Just not. Like, I swear, it's become a hangout area for people, or for the boys, or something. I don't know. And like, the only person who really comes down for me is the guy who protects me. So, yep. Plus, it's been extremely raining for the past couple of days, and there's like a flood warning or something. I'm like, that's bad. But I'm probably gonna be inside for that, I hope. I just hope I am not outside for that. I really don't want to be like outside for that. I want to be inside, 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 inside. And what time is it now? Boop, 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 boop. It is 7:44. I'm beating you. I'm beating you in fitness. Yeah, I'm beating someone in fitness, so. Yeah, me. That's just because I move around a lot. And plus, I have a higher calorie goal. Plus, the person was gonna set up a 7-day challenge. I was like, you should probably start that at the beginning of the week, not at the end. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. That's just my heater turning on. It makes that sound. If you guys heard that, that's just my heater. Like, that's just the heater. It turns on like that. It just makes a good sound. I might just like leave and maybe stream again because I think I'm gonna finish my video and then come back. But guys, do want to know my Roblox name? I will like pin it for you. I will leave a comment in the description down below, so you check it after you're done watching this, or you're here, which there's none right now. Up here I can see there's no one here, but there's one like, no one here, one like. So yeah, down there, I will leave it down there, spelled out exactly how it is. So you can either send me a friend request, because I'm gonna delete some friends, like, but if I can make you all friends or anything in like the next 24 hours, we'll say 24 hours, I'll give you guys a day. I'll give you guys a day, just a day. But if I'm feeling nice, I'll give you 2. If you can't by then you guys can follow me. Just follow me, because they only let you have 200 friends at a time, which is stupid. And I'm gonna do that, so I'll leave it down there for you guys. Okay, I'm glitching out again. I'm glitching out again. Is it okay now? Yeah, it's glitching out. I know. There it goes. Now it's back. So yeah, if you want to know my Roblox account name, it'll be down there in the comments. I'll leave it after this is posted. I'll pin it for you guys, because I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go work on a video and get it done and work on some other stuff. 'Cause I gotta get posted. Because this is my job, really. Because I'm technically getting paid now, actually. Yeah. But need a bank account, so not really getting paid. So, if you want. And, like, you guys can play around with me and stuff when I'm on. But I'm hardly on. Only when I wanna. So, yeah. So, I might as well leave now because I have nothing more to talk about unless you two people right there, I see there's two people here, have any questions for me. Unless you have unless you two have questions. Then, go ahead. If you want. As long as they're not offensive. Give you a minute. if you have any questions. Just, okay. Because I've already talked about my life as was. I've already rambled on about my stupid life, so. If you want to watch it back. And watch me ramble on about my life. You know. I'm gonna leave. But I may stream again. Who knows? If I'm not feeling tired. Or anything. Or maybe I'll stream this weekend. So. It just depends, really. I literally stream out of nowhere. At this point. So yeah. I will leave, and I'll leave it down there. If you want it, I'll give you guys a day if you wanna friend me. Just one day, one day only, one day. There's a close up of my finger. And if not, then you can follow me. Cool. That just depends how many friend requests I get. So I'm gonna leave. And go work. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Adios. Ciao. Arrivederci.